Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. My name is Heather. I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 kids, elementary and high school age. Today I'm really excited to be sharing with you the curriculum choices that I have for my oldest this year. She would be going into her junior year if she were in public school. However, she is actually in her last year of homeschooling. She only needs an English credit to graduate. Of course, she does have a full year ahead of her. So I'm going to go through all of the resources that we are going to be using. I'm going to turn the camera around. This week, I'm sharing the resources and curriculum for Emma, Jack, and Lucy. I also posted my teacher planner setup video yesterday. I will have links for everything in the description box for you. So let's get started. Okay guys, so we are going to start with Emma's English. She is going to be doing British Literature level 630 from Sunlight. And if you do not know, Sunlight does have suggested credit amounts for their high school level courses. British Literature is a very, very full course. It is 1 credit of British Literature. It can be half a credit of poetry and half a credit of composition. So if you do everything, you could count 2 entire English credits. The majority of their high school English levels are 1 credit of literature and half a credit of composition. There is a lot of poetry in here. We will see. I'm going to share the books with you. I did do a full unboxing, but I will just run through them quickly with you. Word Power Made Easy, Peter Pan, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass, The Secret Share and Other Stories, The Rime of the Ancient Mariner, Pygmalion, The Importance of Being Earnest, The Great Divorce by C.S. Lewis, Emma by Jane Austen, which my Emma is very excited about, A Passage to India, Gulliver's Travels, Beowulf, 3 Men in a Boat, A Tale of Two Cities, and then we have, it's a lot, Hamlet, Wuthering Heights, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes and the Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes, Dubliners or Dubliners, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, Lord of the Flies, The Canterbury Tales, Paradise Lost, Sir Gawain and the Green Knight, Perrin's Sound and Sense, An Introduction to Poetry, Frankenstein, A Severe Mercy, and Right Ho Jeeves. Now, there is the possibility that we will cut some of the literature out of this course. It really just depends. I have not fully looked through the books at all. Most of them Emma is really interested in. The ones that she was not really that excited about was A Passage to India and then also Lord of the Flies. And so we may cut these. I'm not sure. I did read Lord of the Flies when I was in school. We'll see. I've not read this book. I don't know a whole lot about it. So I obviously have not even gone through this. It does come with a parent guide and a student guide. I have yet to decide if I'm going to bind these with my coil binder. There's a lot that still needs to be done this year that has not been done yet. And it does also come with this sound and sense answer key for the poetry. Now with this Sunlight, 630. I also did get the Wordly Wise book 11. We've been doing Wordly Wise since I think book 6 is when we started Wordly Wise, and I really like it. I know that it does have this book as well, Word Power Made Easy for vocabulary, and so I don't know if we will use more of this, if we will use more of this, if we will use one or the other, but I did buy the Wordly Wise book because we do use it every year and I just wanted to have it. Then guys, in addition to level 630, because this year is all about writing and literature for Emma, I purchased this In Your Own Words by Not Consumed. It is a high school writing program. They are saying it counts as 1 full credit. I do not know. It really just depends how things are going. I did get this for both Jack and Emma to work on this year. Emma is going to be going through this, and depending on how much writing she is doing, I may give her a half or a whole credit. It will be elective. It will be creative writing on her transcript, and I do have a full review and walkthrough. I will leave that linked in the description box if you want to see it. I'm really excited about this course. So is Emma. I think it's going to be really good, and I think it will be a good course for Jack to work through as well. In the same realm of writing, this, like I said, she needs 1 English credit, guys, but I have a lot of choices for her this year. We are also considering, it is not finalized yet, but we're also considering doing the writer's workshop, which is a subscription-based service. It has classes, it has mentorship programs and community for teen writers, teen and young adult writers. I just learned about this community recently, and we are doing like a free trial right now. I don't think that the writer's workshop is open for enrollment when this video goes live. I'm not sure how often they open for enrollment, so I will leave them linked in the description box. That is not really a credit course. It is an option. They do have a high school English credit option, but I am doing this more for Emma for community and learning about publishing and how to get through some stumbling blocks with writing, creative writing, and the community aspect. So that is another part that most likely will be included with her school year for the coming year. Next, we're going to go over math options for Emma. So Emma finished Algebra 2 this past year. She did a great job. She did not want to do pre-calculus, and I am fine with that. I did pre-calculus and I did do advanced math in college, but she is not interested in pre-calculus right now. But she really did want to do some sort of a business math or consumer math. We decided on consumer math from Not Consumed. This is, again, a new program for their high school curriculum that they've just come out with this year. We have not gone through it. I did do a full review and walkthrough of this. I will leave that. It will be linked with the In Your Own Words writing curriculum. I did a full walkthrough and review of both of those in one video. I'm really excited about this. I think that the units are going to be really interesting to go through. There are 16 units, a lot of great information in here. Again, they do count this as 1 full math credit. I am not sure if I will count it as 1 full math credit. There is nothing in my state that tells you how to count a credit. It's really based on your own opinion in Maine. And so I do follow kind of the Carnegie units method of 120 to 180 work hours. And that's just how I figure out credits for the transcript for Emma. So this is going to be the first math credit for Emma. The second is Life of Fred Statistics. And this is actually a college level statistics class. And from what Life of Fred says on their website, if you go through chapters 1 through 5 in this book, that is a high school level statistics course. So there are more than 5 chapters in this book. And so we are going to focus on the first 5 chapters, including the half chapters, even though there is other language on the website saying that you do not need to do the half chapters for it to count. But we are planning to go through chapter 5, and we will see how she does through chapter 5. If she is really enjoying the content, then we will just continue on. And if she's moving through it quickly, we will continue moving on as far as we can for the year. But chapters 1 through 5 would be her statistics high school transcript course, and it would be 1 credit of statistics, and it just gives an introduction to statistics. It starts with the basics. You do not need any, you don't need anything before this. There's no prerequisites. You don't need to do calculus. There is a calculus Life of Fred book as well, but obviously we've not done pre-calculus, so we don't need that. So we will see. I'm excited about this. I think that statistics is something that will be very helpful, and I really like the Life of Fred method. I think it will be fun. We'll see how it goes. So 1 credit of statistics and probably 1 credit of consumer math. And then this is the last extra math book that we have, and this is The Life of Fred Financial Choices. You will see in a second that we are also doing the Guest Hollow Government, Economics, and Personal Finance class. So this will probably be in addition to the Personal Finance course with Guest Hollow. So this is not a large book, and I think that there's 35 chapters in here. So my plan is to just do one chapter a week. I think that this will just be in addition to the personal finance section of the Guest Hollow course that we are doing. We will see how much work is associated with this, with the personal finance section in Guest Hollow as well. I will talk about that in just a second, but my idea was to use this in addition to the personal finance resources from the Guest Hollow, and then have one full credit of personal finance on her transcript. Okay, so the only credit that Emma needed to graduate was English. However, she has not taken an economics course, and I've noticed that a lot of high schoolers are taking a half credit of government and a half credit of economics at some point in their high school career before graduation. Well, she took a half a credit of government a couple of years ago. We did the constitutional literacy course from Apologia, which we really liked. It was DVD based. There was a workbook that went with it. It had a ton of great information in it, all about the Constitution, and she learned quite a bit that year. However, I recently found out about Guest Hollow last year, and I saw their government, economics, and personal finance course. This just was released in 2023. So there isn't a ton of information out there about this course, but as I started to look through it, I really thought that it would be a good course for both of my high schoolers. For Emma, I really wanted to focus on the economics and personal finance side. This is the student workbook that I have printed out. I have not bound it yet. That's why it's just sitting here, but I will coil bind this. And then this is the teacher guide. The way that this is written, you can do a full government credit, a full economics credit, a full personal finance credit, and a half a credit of logic for an elective. And it has a ton of information in here. And there are so many books, so many video resources and movies and extra content and information. It is a literature-based curriculum, so you can even include some of the literature in your English credit if you would like. I am really excited about this. It is a lot of information. They do rank their books. Books with a rank of number 1 are, required resources. Books with a 2 are used sometimes in the workbook, or they find a lot of value in them. 3 and 4 are kind of at your own discretion. There are lots of activities in here. You can print this out, but if you will notice, all of these are links to other resources. So there is going to be a lot of online information that we have to figure out. I understand the grid. I have purchased a lot of the books, and I will share those with you, the ones that I have in hand, in just a minute. But at the same time, I'm a little leery about all of the work, but that makes sense because of how full this is. It's not just half a credit of government and economics and a little bit of personal finance thrown in. It is essentially a full year of high school level work. So keep that in mind, but obviously you can pare it down as much as you want, and you don't have to do a full credit of government, a full credit of economics, and a full credit of personal finance. My plan with Emma is to have this be half a credit of government because she has already done the constitutional literacy. So she will have a full credit of government on her transcript, just in 2 different courses, but I will most likely have this be a full credit of economics and a full credit of personal finance, as well as the half credit of logic. It will depend on how her course load is. If we continue with the logic, she doesn't really need it. But if we do decide to keep it, then I will obviously put that on her transcript. Some of the books for this program I actually purchased on Kindle. There are some books that are going to be library books, but I will share the books that I have in physical form, and then I will put an image up of the books that I have purchased on the Kindle, and that was really just because some of them are novels that I don't necessarily want to keep in the house, and they weren't very expensive as a Kindle book, so I just purchased them on Kindle. Now, again, this is a very, very full literature-based curriculum, so it is possible that we will drop books as we're going through the year, just depending on the level of work and what is working for us and what is not. But let me grab those books. Okay, so these books are in no particular order, and I do not have them separated into government economics or personal finance. You may be able to tell just by the title of the book which section it goes with. The main spine for this program, both the government textbook and the economics textbook, are both online. The government textbook is a free textbook that they have edited and included additional information and YouTube videos, and so it will be read online, and then all of the little YouTube videos and stuff that go with each chapter or with each unit, my kids will watch on the computer together. I haven't quite figured out how we're going to manage that because you can't put that on a Kindle. And so it may be something where they take turns reading aloud. I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to work it yet. That is going to come. I will figure it out, and once I do, I will share it with you. First book is For Everything You Need to Know, the Infographic Guide to American Government, the Constitution, Crash, the Great Depression and the Fall and Rise of America, Whatever Happened to Penny Candy, Are You Liberal, Conservative, or Confused? And these are both Uncle Eric books. We did World War I and World War II this past year. We'd actually done World War II several years ago, which is also an Uncle Eric book, but we read World War I and World War II this year, and I loved them. It's definitely a libertarian point of view. He does talk about his bias at the beginning of those two books, so that you are aware of that, but I'm really excited to get into these books. The Money Challenge for Teens, Inflation, What It Is, Why It's Bad, and How to Fix It, The People's Guide to the United States Constitution, The Fallacy Detective, this is the workbook edition, so my kids will work on this together, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. How to Turn $100 into $1 million, The Politically Incorrect Guide to the Great Depression and the New Deal, The Cartoon Introduction to Economics, Volume 1, Microeconomics, and Volume 2, Macroeconomics, How Money Works, The Facts Visually Explained, Collective Illusions, Brown v. Board of Education, the economics book, Big Ideas Simply Explained, and those are all of the physical books that I have for this course. So these are all of the resources that I will be using with Emma this year. She again would be in 11th grade if she were in public school, but this is a 12th grade year for her. Because she's still young, she would have the option to continue to enroll as a homeschooler for her senior year in 2 years. And we're trying to figure out whether or not she is going to graduate at the end of this year, if we will graduate her, but then continue to enroll her as a homeschooler and have her do dual enrollment classes for her senior year. I'm still unsure about that. There are also options for CLEP exams and other options that we have a little bit of time to figure out because she is a full year ahead. But this is what we have for her senior year. It is very book heavy. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes. I am not opposed to doing some of these books as audiobooks. She has read a number of the books that are in this English credit, so we may not need to reread those. We may just be able to do the writing assignment associated with it. But I'm really excited about this year. She is really excited about not having any computer-based work. She's also really excited about not having a science this year. She had no desire to do physics, so we are skipping physics for the year, and she is just going to continue working on her writing and her digital art and animation. So I'm very, very excited about this year. I think it's going to be a lot of fun for all of us. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have questions about anything that I talked about, please leave me a comment below, or you can email me. My contact form is always in the description box. Again, I would love for you to come over and check out my membership community. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.